Hi and welcome to the next tutorial. Today I would like to show you how to make a multifunctional 303. We will create an adjustable and easy to use modulation window, and we will be able to quickly move from a 303 through a Trance Pluck to super cell beat. Are you ready? I'm not, but let's do it. Okay, so here we are. But before we start making this sound, I would like you to listen to a story that I have for you. Recently, a young producer wrote a message to me and he said, Jedi, thank you very much for all the knowledge and thank you very much for your tutorials and that I'm grateful for everything that you do. And I made a track using a help of your tutorials and I would like you to listen to it. So basically, there's nothing strange in this message because I receive many messages like this. But when I played this track, I heard that it was made entirely of the same melodic lines and the same synthesis that I showed in my tutorials. So basically, it was like I was listening to my own track with just a slight changes in arrangement and bass lines. So that's not okay. It kills your creativity. It destroys your imagination. My goal is to show you the way, is to give you a knowledge so you can create your own music. And don't copy exactly the same as it's shown in a tutorial. Use your imagination, use your creativity, and express yourself in a very unique way with a knowledge, not by copying other producers and artists. So that's my message to young producers and beginners out there. And now let's listen to the sequence that I prepared for this tutorial. Okay, so this is a sequence that we will use in this tutorial, and now we will go to our 303 sound. So I will use Harmor as usual, and the basic saw wave, basic preset, and let's start a synthesis. I will start with putting a filter just in 50% of its value, and I will map it to a modulation X knob right here. Now let's check how it sounds. Okay, I can already hear that the range is too big. I want to decrease it a little bit. Okay, now I will activate a maximum value of a resonance and I will map it straight to modulation Y. So we can see that the value, that the amount of resonance is changing while moving the Y knob. Okay, and now I will set the Pluck amount to a 50%, and I will map it to knob Z. So we will be able to use this knob as a shaping the Trance Pluck. Okay, now let's activate the delay, and I want to set some big amount of delay, maybe 64% here and 64% in a feedback, and amount, so let's listen to it. And I will also set some reverb, but just a slight wet signal, like a 30%, and maybe about 2.5 seconds of decay. Okay, so we have our basic settings for a 303, and 303 is a very successful and popular sound. I believe it's the most popular sound in all electronic music. You can find it in techno, you can find it in drum and bass, you can find it in PsyTrance, you can find it in Goa trance, and today we will use it as a melodic line for our sequence that I showed you before. So this is the basic settings. We will go back to the synthesis, but now let's go and create a ghost channel with a scale. And I will use a G-sharp note because this is my bassline note. But I will go to the silent MIDI out instance, go to a piano roll. Sorry, I will use this pattern where we will create our 303 sound. And I will go to a MIDI out, piano roll. And I will choose a minor 7th scale. This is the most popular scale in electronic music, at least one of the most popular. And I will put it in a G sharp, which is the note where my bass line is constructed. So I will copy it and put it on a G sharp above, and above, and below. And now I will make all those notes longer for about 4 bars, because this is the length of the sequence of the 303 melodic line that I will use. So now as I go to 303, I can see the ghost channels, and these are the notes that I will use for my melody. So I will start with a bottom rhythmic octave. I call it rhythmic because I use lower octave for the rhythm. So I can create something like this. Or something like this. Or any kind of rhythm you want, just set it in a lower octave. And now let's go to some higher notes. And these notes I will use as a melody. But now let's create some kind of sequence. And you don't have to do everything as I do here. Use your imagination. And now use those highlighted notes to create some kind of melody. I will go like this. Okay. I will copy it. Sorry, just the upper octave. And I can put some changes here, for example, something like this. And I can copy the whole thing and create a sequence with length of 4 bars. Now let's listen to it. Okay, so basically we have almost ready melodic line of a 303, but I would like to tell you about 2 very important things. when creating a 303 lead. And these are the things. The first one is a portamento effect, which you activate here and set the length of it here. So what it does, it creates a slide from note to note. It's something like this. So one note played after another is being applied in a very smooth way. And I like it very much. So I set the time of this portamento for something around 30 milliseconds. And it makes it very smooth. So the other thing, very important thing, is just go to a filter 1 frequency and you can activate the envelope. So it creates this kind of a wah-wah effect, also very often used when constructing these 303 leads. So what it does, it's moving every time you press the key, so every time the note is triggered, you are moving slightly the position of a filter. So that's very nice function. Now we're modulating in the upper direction of a filter, and now we can reverse this modulation. And it sounds very, very good when the resonance, when amount of resonance is very high. Okay, let's reverse the direction. Yes, so these are very important things, because many producers, when asked about the most important elements of creating 303, says that it's distortion, that it's reverb, that it's delay. And in my opinion, the most important thing is the filter frequency envelope, and it's the portamento effect. So these are my two secrets that I use in my melodic lines that are very, very nice sounding. Okay, let's listen to the whole sequence now. Maybe I will start with the kick and bass line and our melody. Okay, so now we're in a trance Pluck mode. Now we can move to a 303. Okay, and now by activating the unison, so we are spreading this one voice into 6 voices, detuned a little bit with pitch, unison pitch slider. Yeah, so we were now in a super saw mode. Now this deactivate the unison. And you are in a trance Pluck mode. And now just increase the resonance and increase a little bit the Pluck amount, and you are in 303 mode. Okay, so that was it. A very, very simple and very, very powerful tool for creating powerful melodic lines. Very, very useful in trance music and also in PsyTrance as well. Now let's listen to this, to the whole sequence. Trance Pluck mode. Super Saw mode. And 303 mode. Okay, so that's it. That was a tutorial on how to create a very effective, very powerful, and a very multifunctional melodic lines that you can use actually in very number of ways, a number of genres, and you can do it in a very successful way. So I hope you like this tutorial. Have a good day. Peace.